It was a typical Tuesday. Clear skies, hurried footsteps on the sidewalks, impatient car horns, and the unseen weight of routine pressing down on shoulders. He sat there on a park bench, his gaze lost in nothing, yet internally. He was seething. It wasn't sadness, nor was it exactly anger. It was a restless void, as if something inside screamed, "There's more, so much more. But why can't I see it? Why can't I feel it?" Perhaps you felt this way too, as if the world spins in a predictable cycle while a part of you knows, with a certainty you can't even explain, that something beyond exists, something greater, something waiting for you. What he didn't realize then was that the universe was already responding. It always had. But he was speaking the wrong language. Or rather, he was trying to command the invisible with the logic of the visible. And that's where everything failed. His name barely matters now, because deep down, this story isn't about him. It's about you. It's about everything you've secretly wished for. About those moments you cried out silently for a way out, a sign, an answer. And nothing came. Nothing but more silence. But what if I told you that silence was the answer? That's the part almost no one understands. Most people chase after the universe like someone running after a missed bus. But the universe? It's not a bus. It's a mirror. And more than that, it's a recorder. It records who you are, not what you ask for. It returns your frequency, not your words. And here's the game-changing point. The language the universe understands isn't spoken. It's felt. But hold on. I'm not talking about cheap positive thinking. No faking gratitude for something you despise. What you're about to discover here is different. Something profound, almost secret. Something that, if applied correctly, will open doors, one by one. In this video, you'll grasp why the universe seems to ignore so many who pray, visualize, ask, and plead, and why it responds as if by magic to those who speak to it in the right way, even without uttering a word. By the end, I'll reveal the most potent and overlooked method of communicating with the universe. Few use it. Almost no one teaches it. And those who've uncovered it, they were never the same. And yes, this final revelation can be your turning point, the most powerful one. You'll understand why manifesting isn't a game of chance or a luxury for the enlightened. It's biology. It's an electromagnetic field. It's elevated consciousness. Joe Dispenza shares a truth few truly grasp. You don't attract what you desire. You attract what you emit. And emitting isn't just thinking, it's being. Being before having. Feeling before seeing, transforming yourself before achieving. The challenge? Most people live like emotional zombies, trapped in the past, constantly reacting, repeating the same feelings every day, like a scratched record of their own story. And the universe obediently returns the same old thing, a painful déjà vu. But what if you could break free from this now? What if there was a simple and incredibly practical way to change the frequency you're broadcasting at this very moment? There is, and it's closer than you imagine. Speaking of practical, I've prepared something for you if you want to start applying this today. It's direct, functional, and could be exactly the missing first step for your manifestation to finally occur. You'll find it via the link in the first pinned comment. Click and begin now, because this content will pull you out of autopilot. Seriously, give it a try. And of course, if this topic resonates with you, if it stirs something within, hit that like button and subscribe now. Much more is coming. Content that doesn't just repeat the obvious. Content that truly hits home. Now, take a deep breath, because what comes next will move you. Let's begin. What do you feel right now, precisely at this moment, as you hear this voice and feel the air entering your lungs? What you feel, that's what you're emitting to the universe. And that's what it feeds on to create your reality. You can repeat affirmations daily, plaster motivational phrases around your house, create vision boards, and still, nothing changes. Because the key isn't what you say, it's what you vibrate. And vibration is pure, raw, unfiltered emotion. It's your energetic signature. Joe Dispenza explained this in a way that is as clear as it is unsettling. Your body is a walking archive of the past. Every unprocessed emotion, every trauma, every repetitive thought, all are recorded as neurological programming. And as long as you keep feeling the same things, thinking the same way, and living with the same patterns, the universe interprets that as what you want more of, even if consciously you hate it. And here's the first major shift. Your current emotional state is sabotaging your communication with the universe. Because if you live in frustration, anxiety, scarcity, anger, or boredom, that's what you're transmitting. And the response is precise. The universe doesn't punish, doesn't judge, doesn't analyze. It simply returns. But relax. Don't blame yourself. You're not broken. You're just stuck in a closed circuit of recycled emotions. And this circuit is so addictive that the body starts to command the mind. You wake up and immediately enter autopilot mode. Your brain seeks out the same thoughts from the day before, which trigger the same feelings, which generate the same actions. And at the end of the day, the same result. Stagnant life, blocked manifestation. So the question arises, how do you change this? Joe Dispenza says the secret lies in creating coherence. Coherence between what you think and what you feel. Because thought is the language of the brain. Emotion is the language of the body. When both come into sync, you align with the quantum field. You move out of the logic of matter and into the logic of energy. It's at this moment that the universe truly begins to listen and begins to respond. But it's not enough to think about abundance. You need to feel abundant. It's not enough to imagine love. You need to feel loved. It's not enough to desire health. You need to vibrate as someone healthy. And then comes the question many can't answer. How do you feel something that hasn't happened yet? Here's the most powerful answer of all. You need to hack reality. Create within yourself an anticipated emotional state. Fake it? No. Create it. There's a brutal difference between faking and being. Faking is superficial, a lie. Creating is using imagination as a biological tool. When you start activating new feelings, you begin to reprogram your brain, creating new neural connections, freeing yourself from the past. It is at this point that manifestation begins to unfold. Quantum physics has already proven that reality isn't fixed. It's a field of infinite possibilities. What collapses a possibility into reality is your focused attention plus coherent emotion. In other words, you don't attract what you want. You attract what you are in resonance with. And this explains why so many people get frustrated with the law of attraction. Because they think of wealth, but feel scarcity. They think of love, but feel lack. They think of health, but feel fear. This incoherence cancels the signal. It's like wanting to tune into a radio station, but turning the dial the wrong way. You're crying for help in a language the universe doesn't understand. From now on, pay attention to this. Everything you feel intensely becomes a silent request. Therefore, the true secret isn't repeating what you want. It's becoming what you want. This requires practice, persistence, and an internal decision to stop being the victim of your own story. You need to stop reacting to the world and start creating the world. Want a simple yet powerful exercise? Close your eyes for a minute. Breathe deeply. Imagine the version of yourself who already lives what you desire. Don't just see it, feel it. Feel the body of that version of yourself. How does she walk? How does she breathe? What does she feel upon waking? Immerse yourself in this. Stay there for a few minutes daily. This is more powerful than 1,000 desperate pleas, because now you are speaking the language of the universe. And remember, the universe doesn't respond to your time. It responds to your frequency. And if you want to accelerate this shift, you already know. In the first pinned comment, there's something that can help you change this internal state. It will pull you back into command of your own creation. Returning to the main point, Joe Dispenza also teaches about the importance of the present moment, because when you are truly present, you step out of the program. The mind doesn't race to the past nor to the future. It stops, and when it stops, the body slows down, the heart aligns, heart coherence kicks in, and in this state of deep presence, the field around you changes. You emanate a new signal, and this new signal finds new possibilities. It's like changing the soundtrack of a movie. The scenery might be the same, but the emotion you transmit changes everything. And little by little, the scenery changes too. Because the universe responds to the soundtrack, not the script. You are not stuck. You never were. What holds you back is unconscious repetition. And what liberates you is conscious intention. Intention is the seed. Emotion is the water. Focus is the sun. Daily practice is the soil. And if you follow this path, something begins to happen. Signs appear. Coincidences align. The right people cross your path. Doors that once seemed locked begin to open. Not by magic, but because now you are in frequency with what you desire. Now you are the version of yourself who deserves all of that. Ultimately, manifesting is this: remembering who you are before the world taught you otherwise. If you've made it this far, it's because a part of you already knew all of this. You just needed a push. Now, the decision is yours. But before you continue, if this video resonated with you, leave a like and subscribe to the channel. This shows you're ready to take the next step. The journey continues, and the universe is already listening. In the silence between thoughts, there is a pure frequency, a field of possibilities awaiting new information, and it is there that everything begins. Most people live reactively. They wake up to an alarm, rush, work, survive. They lie down exhausted, wake up tired. The cycle repeats, and somewhere, amidst the rush, the soul falls silent. The heart grows accustomed to the noise, and the mind, saturated, loses access to the present. But when you stop, when you breathe deeply, when you connect, when you consciously choose to step out of autopilot, in that instant, you give the universe a different command. A clear, firm, non-negotiable command. I am ready to be who I was born to be. And it is this decision that changes everything, because the universe merely awaits your movement, a genuine step, a new frequency, a coherent field. When you take that step, emotional, energetic, authentic, it responds, not as magic, but as a consequence. You don't need to understand everything, nor control everything. You just need to feel the truth of what you want, commit to it, and vibrate as if it were already real. And this is the ultimate revelation, the game changer. The universe doesn't respond to desires. It responds to identity. Who you are shapes the world around you. Reality dances to your vibration. And if you change internally, inevitably, everything external changes too. So the question remains, who are you choosing to be from this moment forward? There is no right path. There is a right frequency. The world around you is a mirror, and the reflection always returns. Always. Now you know how to speak to the universe, and more importantly, you know how to make it respond. Your new reality is one choice away. Make that choice now, and let the universe surprise you. The awakening begins with a yes, and you just said yours. But now that you've said that yes, there's something you need to understand more deeply. The universe does respond, yes, but it responds to your whole self, to your complete state, not just your voice, your desires, your pretty words. It responds to the vibration you emit when no one is looking, when the world is silent, when you close your eyes and truly feel who you have been. And this is one of the most intense parts of the process, looking inward with honesty, not to judge yourself, but to reconnect. Because manifesting isn't about manipulating reality. It's about returning to your essence, remembering the original frequency you lost along the way. And by remembering, you begin to live in alignment. And when you live in alignment, you stop chasing things. things start coming to you. Life stops being a battle and becomes a flow. You know those moments when everything just seems to click? When the right person calls, the email arrives, the idea sparks, the resource appears? That's not coincidence. That's energetic coherence. It's the quantum field saying, "Now you understand." And this is where true freedom resides. When you realize you don't need to force or beg, you just need to be. The universe doesn't respond to effort, it responds to clarity. And clarity comes from presence, from practice, from commitment to your new identity. Every morning before touching your phone, before thinking about debts, bills, obligations, stop, feel, recreate. 30 seconds of coherence are more transformative than hours of despair. This changes your frequency, changes your field, changes you. And with time, you become a person who doesn't just practice manifestation, you become someone who lives in manifestation. Abundance becomes your second skin, love becomes your foundation, health, your natural language. Because now you don't depend on the world to feel good. You feel good, and the world responds. You've become the center of the field, and everything aligns around you. That's why this video isn't just about talking to the universe. It's about remembering that you are the universe communicating through a body. You are not separate from anything. You never were. The illusion of separation is what creates suffering. But when you vibrate in unity, when you truly feel life pulsating within you, everything begins to fall into place. And if you've made it this far, you already know it wasn't by chance. The awakening has begun. Now, continue. Rewatch if you need to. Return whenever the world's noise tries to pull you back into autopilot. And if you want to go even deeper, to go beyond and have something practical in your hands to continue this journey, you know where to look. The link in the first pinned comment is the next step. That step can pull you back to your center and remind you the universe isn't external, it's a mirror, and you have the power to change the reflection. Now go. Vibrate differently, feel differently, act as if you already are, and let reality prove it to you. See you in the next video, with presence, with intention, and with truth. The universe is listening, and now it will respond.